Hey family, it's Letitia Renee, and this is Ushered into Healing. I'm so glad you're here with me today. If you're tuning in, chances are the holidays feel different this year, maybe even heavy. Maybe you're going through the traditions of the holiday that feels empty, or you're unsure of how to show up for yourself while carrying the weight of your loss. I want you to know something before we dive in. You're not alone. And the fact that you're listening right now is proof that you care about yourself, even if it doesn't feel like it. This time together isn't about doing more or becoming something different. It's about recognizing the small, quiet ways you're already doing the best you can, even when it doesn't feel like enough. Let's talk about 3 common struggles during the holiday, and let's explore realistic ways to approach them. 1. One of the hardest parts of grieving during the holidays is how traditions can suddenly feel empty. The joy that used to come naturally and now it feels forced. Or even worse, it's absent. It's not even there. Maybe you're even wondering if it's worth continuing those traditions at all. Here's the thing. It's okay to pause and ask yourself, what part of this tradition still feels meaningful to me? You don't have to do it all. Decorating the house, cooking a big meal. If it feels overwhelming, how about you pick one thing, one small piece of that tradition that you can hold on to, or even reshape it in a way that fits who you are now. Because how many of us know when we experience loss of someone very near and dear to our heart, we are no longer the same person. Oftentimes, we change. Our identity shifts. So someone I know recently shared that they've been dreading their family holiday dinner that's coming up because it doesn't feel the same without their loved one. We talked about how it's okay to step back from parts of the event that feels overwhelming and instead focus on small, meaningful moments. For example, they decided to skip the big family toast, which felt too emotional for them. But still, they decided to help set the table. That was their quiet way of contributing and feeling connected. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. It's about finding what works for you right now. Another struggle during the holidays is guilt. You feel guilt for smiling. You feel guilt for laughing. You feel guilt for even enjoying the holidays itself. You may catch yourself thinking, how can I feel happy when they're not here? And that guilt can be paralyzing. Here's what I want to offer you. Those moments of joy don't mean you're forgetting or you're even moving on from your loved one. It's proof that your loved one is still part of you. Think about this. If they could see you now, what would they want you to feel? Wouldn't they want you to feel some lightness and some comfort? So when you notice a moment of joy, or you're having a good conversation, or a funny memory, or even eating a good piece of cake, pause for a second and let yourself feel it fully. Those moments don't erase your grief or the memory of your loved one. It's small signs that you're starting to heal, and those feelings deserve to be acknowledged. You might even share that moment with someone you trust. Hey, so and so, I caught myself smiling today when I thought of my mom. I caught myself laughing tears of joy when I thought of my dad. That simple act of sharing can reinforce that joy is allowed and it's okay, even in the midst of your grief. And 3, finally, let's talk about the pressure to keep it all together. The holidays can make you feel like you have to do everything. You have to show up for your family. You have to attend the events. You have to keep the traditions alive. Let me ask you this. Who told you it all had to be perfect? Instead of aiming for perfection, what if you focused on just showing up in whatever way feels right for you? Maybe that means saying no to a gathering that feels like too much. Or maybe it means telling someone you trust, hey, I'm having a tough time today. Somebody I know shared a really good strategy. They decided to go to a family gathering, but only for an hour. Knowing they had a planned exit gave them the courage to show up without the pressure of staying the whole time. Small steps like this can help you reclaim some control over your time and your energy. So, before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. What's one small win you noticed recently? It could be something as simple as making it through a tough conversation or finding a moment of peace in your day. Send me a message or a comment. I'd love to celebrate those moments with you. The holidays will always carry a mix of emotions, especially when you lost someone you loved. But here's the truth. The fact that you're here, you're listening, means you're doing the work, even if it doesn't feel like it. You are doing enough, even when it doesn't look the way you thought it would. Healing doesn't mean leaving your loved one behind. It means learning to carry them with you as you rediscover who you are now. And that's no small thing. So as you go through this holiday season, I encourage you to notice the small wins, the moments of lightness, the moments where quiet ways you're showing up for yourself. The moments matter, and so do you. Thank you for spending this time with me. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. If this conversation has been helpful, let me know, and we can continue these talks in future episodes. Until then, take care of yourself one step at a time and be ushered into healing.